Good morning. My name is Tianyue, and I will be delivering a presentation for my own essay. To start off, I'll play two videos on promoting awareness of sexual harassment.
Why aren't they smiling? If you are sexually harassed, don't stay silent. Whether it is physical or verbal or any other form of sexual harassment, it is unlawful. If you are sexually harassed by customers, seek help from the Equal Opportunities Commission. The amended Sex Discrimination Ordinance protects service providers from sexual harassment. For inquiries, call 2511-8211.
Hi, table for two.
How are you settling in?
Good, yeah, thanks.
Is this a problem?
I get you a drink?
No, I'm fine.
Mick?
Thanks. No.
Yeah, 2 drinks.
No, honestly.
How about this?
I'm fine. Genuinely.
Not gonna show the lads, no?
No,
Or this?
Why not?
I don't want to.
Are you hiding something from us? I'll give you a look.
What about this?
There's a room for you, sirs.
We're not 16 anymore.
Come on.
What's the problem?
Do you remember me?
No.
And this?
Your friends told me to take you home.
Is this a problem? Does Ireland have a problem with sexual harassment and sexual violence? Enough is enough. Learn more at gov.ie/no excuses.
Okay, both of these videos talks about the issue of sexual harassment, but is there any difference between them? The answer is that the first video created by the Equal Opportunity Commission faced criticism for only portraying female victims, while the second video from Department of Justice Ireland depicted both female and male victims. This highlights the fact that although it is well known that sexual assaults, sexual harassment primarily affects females, males could also become victims of sexual harassment, which is an issue that often receives little attention and is frequently neglected. A research in 2018 indicated that nearly 25% of males will experience contact sexual harassment at some point of their lives. However, only a quarter of these harassment were reported to the police. And the hashtag #MeToo has provided a platform for people worldwide to share the experience of sexual harassment. And it is interesting to note that men only account for just over 30% of the tweets using the #MeToo hashtag. So, why have men felt reluctant to speak out? Several factors can explain this, including sexism, masculinity, and social identity theory. In our lecture, we discussed the concept of hostile and benevolent sexism. Hostile sexism involves negative perception of individuals who do not conform to traditional gender stereotypes, while benevolent sexism presents seemingly positive evaluation that still endorse traditional gender norms. While the cases of sexism towards females have been discussed in the lecture, it is crucial to acknowledge that sexism also exists towards men. For example, phrases like "boys don't cry" or "don't be such a baby" are hostile sexism as they negatively evaluate men who do not adhere to traditional gender stereotypes. And masculinity dictates that men should always be tough, self-reliant, brave, emotionally strong and assertive providers who exhibit no sign of weakness to maintain their status and respect as men. This is benevolent sexism, as they evaluate men positively but still imply that men should conform to traditional gender norms and stereotypes. Survivors of sexual harassment, the male survivors of sexual harassment have reported that masculinity plays an important role and acts as a barrier for them to report the crime, as they are afraid of being seen as weak, labeled as homosexual, or losing their societal identity. Seeking help from others is seen as a sign of weakness, and admitting to being a victim of sexual assault can make them feel less masculine. They also often blamed and condemned because they seem to have failed to maintain their masculine identity because they could not protect themselves. As they face stigmatization, contributing to the sense of shame. Therefore, male victims of sexual harassment prefer not to speak up about their experiences and feel ashamed to disclose them. Moreover, men often choose not to report experience of sexual harassment due to influence of group norms and masculine identity, as emphasized by social psychologists. Group processes play an important role in shaping individuals' behavior and cognition. Specifically, social identification refers to an individual's sense of belonging to the group, while group norms refer to the standards and rules that guide behavior. Social identity theory proposes that people not only have a personal identity but also have a social identity as a part of a group. When the salience of social identity is high, group members define themselves psychologically based on that identity and conform to the group's norms. In this context, being a victim is seen as deviating from the cultural norms of masculinity. Hence, males think they are a part of the group of men and tend to believe that they should adhere to the traditional norms of toxic masculinity. As the societal expectation of masculinity promotes dealing with the personal and emotional issue alone and discouraging men from openly express their emotions. They may externalize their depression through anger and irritability, and also lead to severe psychological and physical consequences, including depression, anxiety, suicidal thoughts, substance abuse, reduction of protective factors like close relationships, and avoidance of healthcare services because they think seeking for help is a sign of weakness, which is not consistent with the expectation of masculinity. So, the interventions that challenge masculinity and promote open discussion of men's issue can effectively benefit their psychological health. For example, media-based campaigns focused on public health initiatives could help them to gain a understanding of the fact that men could cry, men could have never engaged in sports, or men could have experienced sexual harassment. This allows them to embrace their emotions and acknowledge that vulnerability is a source of power. source of power, liberating men from traditional gender roles and freedom from the restriction of masculinity. Men could participate in these. Men who participate in these campaigns often could express their emotions and problems more openly and restructure their identity based on the quality like confidence, caring, passion, and perseverance instead of toxic masculinity. Thank you, and that's all for my presentation.